Going to resume recording. And hello and welcome to Ask Me Anything session. Lovely to have you here. Always the last Tuesday of every month. Today is not a training session, it's purely asking any questions that you have in business, leadership, communication, and life. And I will do my best to answer. So, who has the first question?
I don't have a question. I just got an email to say that the plumbers sent the report so we can go ahead with the OTP. So I'm like chuffed.
Yes,
Yes, because
fantastic.
I
I
was
love that.
getting a bit miserable over the weekend with nothing happening, but at least I rested. So yeah.
Yay, good, good, good. And sometimes we could only focus on what we are in control of as well.
Mm.
Yeah.
So, yeah, sometimes it's a good reminder, a good reminder.
And I don't have an office meeting today because the boss is away. So I can
Yay.
join. Yeah.
Yeah, wonderful. Well, that's today's all about asking questions. Patricia is my social media manager, who is absolutely fabulous. And
Awesome.
Bronwyn is a specialist admin solutions. She also helped me for 2 months as PA, and she was brilliant. And as soon as business starts flying again, she'll be back. So again, if you ever need anyone for help or support, even just by the hour, Bronwyn is your go-to, and social media, Patricia is brilliant as well.
Same. I appreciate all your support, Nikki, all the time.
Oh, thank you, thank you,
So
thank you, thank
I
you.
I have to admit I'm feeling a little bit conflicted right now because yeah, I don't know if people are not coming to me because I'm not doing a good job or or, or if it is just a sign of the times. But also, I'm very worried. Okay, I'm going to tell you something, and it's not going to be a very good look. So, I received a phone call from a lady who's starting her own business as a trainer, similar to what I've been doing with this other company, starting from the beginning. I have to admit that the work that I've been doing for them has been a huge learning curve. I've enjoyed that aspect of it, meeting new people, the usual. However, it's been very challenging. I'm 55 years old. I have not got any formal degrees or anything like that in anything. And what I've learned is a lot of it has been self-taught. And I got this call from a lady who's, as I say, also doing training, which for anyone, you guys are all in a professional business. I have, they are using systems, Flex, Azante, Pilots. You're dealing with SAQA, all these different abbreviations and terms. I thought politics was challenging, but this is just as bad. And anyway, so she phoned me to ask me if I would like to join her and pretty much do what I've been doing for the other business. And I have to admit, I have delayed in getting back to her, which is really bad. I need to respond to her and say yes or no. I don't really want to say no because it might be something different to what I've been doing. So I'm just feeling a bit gun shy from what the other company, going into projects halfway through the project also was very, very challenging. There's a lot of systems and a lot of processes which weren't explained properly, or no one had the time, or they just didn't have the time. Everyone's busy and no one was able to sit with you from beginning of project to end of project. And so that's also part of the challenge. So basically my question is, how do I respond to this other lady who's asking me to come and join her? I'm not
I
asking like
would I would answer very honestly and transparently.
mm,
I would say to, sorry, the reason for my delay is there's a lot of tools and systems you're using that I've never used before. I am very open to learning. The feedback I have had is I'm a very quick learner. However, going into a new project, what I have learned is I need someone who's going to guide me and train me on all your systems and how to use it. What I have done with previous people is they do a training session via Zoom, or we record it so I can go back and watch the recording at my own time to make sure I get it. So you only need to explain it once. I will continue practicing and putting it into practice. I am not trained and qualified in what you're looking for as far as your systems, but over the last how long of having your businesses, I've worked with many different training companies, learning many different systems, and they've always got the outcome they've desired. That's it. Now she has the choice to say, I don't have capacity to train you, I need somebody who knows it, or absolutely, we have the person and the capacity to train you, but at least now you're being transparent in what you can and can't do. I would highly recommend that. Something I just want to add to that, Bronwyn, and a lot of this is in my talk for tomorrow. You've got, like you said, you're 55 years old. You started working at what age? Look at the amount of years of lived experience you have. You can't train lived experience. So don't undermine your credibility of what you do know, because your business lived experience, you are incredibly adaptable. And I know that from when you joined me. You learned all my systems very quickly and delivered really well. And remember that. So don't undermine your studying courses, all of that. Everyone needs to learn. I remember when I went into real estate, I knew nothing about real estate, but I said yes. And when I went in the job, I was unconsciously incompetent. I didn't know what I didn't know. And within a week, I became very consciously incompetent, going, oh crap, there's so much I don't know. But when I went into the job, the 2-page job description they gave me, I knew that I could learn everything, or I already have expertise. The only expertise I didn't have was the 5-year real estate experience. And I was transparent to say, I don't know, but I'm willing to learn. So if somebody will guide me, teach me, mentor me, I will be as good as you want me to be as quickly as I can get there. And they said yes. So I would go in, you've already said, well, it's not a no. It's going, I don't want to say no because I've got the opportunity to learn more. I think at the age of 55, learning something new is fantastic, because you still got another good 15, 20 years behind you if you choose to work that long. That just do it. But I think being transparent, then no one can turn and say, but you said you could and you're not. And then it's up to them. They might say, actually, thank you for that. We don't have the time or capacity to train you, because a lot of companies don't. The biggest challenge is, I want to hire someone who's experienced because we don't have time to train. Then they need to market. The other question I would ask, if she approached you, there wouldn't have been an advert that you applied for, because her advert would probably have said, need to have expertise in this and this and this and this. All those systems you mentioned, I've never heard of in my life. Ever. So it's not, except for pilot. So saying that, 3 out of 4 I've never heard of. So you're not alone. And that's how I would answer that question.
Thank you very much, Nix. Thank you.
My pleasure. My pleasure. So welcome. Hello, Michael. Hello, Jennifer, Carol, Patricia, and Bronwyn. Today's the Ask Me session. We've not done a lot of marketing for this particular session, because we're so busy marketing my leadership masterclasses and my lunchtime talks with Nikki, that the Ask Me session has fallen away side just a little. But I'm so grateful for those of you that put it in your calendar for every single month, because that's what we're here for. So Michael's like, he's obviously getting all my emails about everything else. Social media is pumping with all of them as well. Thank you so much, Patricia. Bronwyn puts everything on my Winning Attitude channel, which we now I think have 15 followers, like super exciting. But that's what we're doing in Driving Business. So open to some questions. My brain is fresh. It's ready. Go.
Okay, can I talk?
Absolutely, Michael. Go ahead.
Okay, how are you, first of all?
Fantastic. Lovely to see you.
You too. Okay, so just a quick one, just following up what you've just said. You know, running your own business, as you know, is always a juggle between doing the important things versus the urgent things. And I find that I'm so busy doing other stuff that when it comes to actually marketing myself and getting clients, what you've just actually discussed now, we're spending your time marketing. I'm just not, I'm not focusing on the right stuff. And it's very difficult, as you know, to juggle between admin and the other noise that comes in between, that I'm not focusing on marketing and getting enough clients. What do you do to stop yourself from the other stuff?
So firstly, one thing I've realized is the importance of marketing. Now, marketing is consistently feeding your system and putting leads out there and being top of mind. I can tell you it's the who, not the how. And there's a great book, Who Not How. I know I can't do everything. I know I can do my own marketing. I know I'm not consistent or good at it. However, if you look at any of my social media pages, you would think, yo, this woman's excellent at marketing. That's because I paid someone to do it for me. Now, when I've come to times going, oh, can I afford it? For me, it was a non-negotiable. The first time I paid the monthly invoice, it was the best payment I ever made. I have, in the last couple of months, had some of my worst months ever in business. And yet, when my accountant said you need to put your team on pause, I was like, no, I will go sell my body. But I am not putting my team on pause because I cannot do my business without my team. And I think that is what's important, is looking and identifying all your different priorities. One of the reasons I decided to outsource marketing was it could take me 5 hours to prep the posts I needed for the week. Or I could spend 5 hours doing something that I absolutely love to do. And that could be something that I don't want someone else to do for me. I want to do my cold calling. I want to reach out to clients. I want to go to networking events. I don't want somebody paying someone to go to a networking event for me. And that's when I decided I'm going to outsource. So Patricia, who's on my call, has been with Winning Attitude now just over a year. I would not speak so highly about what she's done for me if she didn't. Michael, I can tell you, I open up my social media so often. I'm like, oh, that's a really cool post. Oh, it's mine. And when I bump into people, they go, you're so amazing. You're doing such wonderful things. And then I quickly have to go check my social media post to go, yes, I am. Thank you. Because I sometimes forget. It is the best money spent. Now, if you want to do social media, do social media. But what's holding you back? If it's admin, Bronwyn's on this call. She is brilliant. Pay her by the hour. So this is not an upsell to everyone here, because if somebody is asking for an excellent real estate agent in Sandton, I know Michael Shane takes away your pain in real estate. Okay, never forgotten that, Michael. It's such a lovely tagline. And in Rand Park Ridge, we have Carol. And if you're looking for a purpose coach, yeah, we have Jennifer. So what I would do is identify what are you really good at and what should you do and what can you delegate to someone else. I know for a fact that Patricia has been one of my best investments in the company. I also have Nadia, who runs my tech. I think I've shared that with you. She preps, if it's not her or me, we write all our own emails. And if I don't write it, she writes it. But we've worked together so long that we write it as the same person. And again, like today, she sent me an email going, what do you think about this? I'm like, fabulous, send it. Right? So it's having the right people. Yes, it's an investment, but it's an investment to keep your business going. And often, if I look at it, I ask the question, what if I can't afford it? And I remember this, having a very honest conversation with myself and my mother, my accountant, a few months ago. And my answer was, I can't afford not to have them. And that's what's needed. So I know, because as soon as I go pause, my social media will fall flat. My emails will fall flat. I'm going to go into burnout and completely shut down. Now I can still manage my energy, manage what I'm doing. At the moment, I'm doing a big talk tomorrow, and I put a pause on my entire business for this 40-minute talk tomorrow. Like, just like put pauses on coffee breaks and this, just because this talk is so important for me. And it's not a talk I'm only doing tomorrow. I'm doing it 3 times in the next 2 months. One tomorrow, another one confirmed for Joburg, and the third one isn't booked yet. But tomorrow, someone's going to book me to do it again. There we go. I've got 3 talks coming up. So I know I need the time to focus on what I need to focus on. I hope that helps, Michael. So what I would do is write down all your priorities. What are things you love to do? What would you rather pay someone else to do? Because often, if it's not what we love to do, we spend a lot of time procrastinating to do it. Well, I don't know about you, but it's like pulling teeth to get things done. And I would much rather clean my room than do what I need to do. Or in fact, maybe I should feed the animals, or maybe I should iron my clothes. I mean, I've never held the iron in my life, but I'll do anything but what I have to do. So rather, who, not how, pay someone. And for an example, there are people out there that are not, I work with Patricia, Nadia, and Bronwyn worked with me for quite a while as well. Bronwyn, and she will be back. Bronwyn, you can have 2 hours a week or 2 hours a day ad hoc. Patricia, they all have their own companies and it's consulting. So you're not hiring anyone on a permanent basis, which is brilliant. Or you're not managing people because they already manage their own companies. And I know, Michael, who you have your own company, that is perfect. It honestly is perfect. And their goal is to manage their company as well as manage yours. So I hope that helps.
Yeah, it does. I'm going to ask another question later, but carry on with the other people.
No, that's fine. I'm not sure who Anna LLYNX1 is. Is that you, Jennifer?
No.
Oh.
I'm asking a question. I looked at that as well and I'm trying to figure it out. My brain is trying to put the thing together.
That's a cell phone
what?
logged in. Hello to
Today,
who's logged in on a cell phone. Yes, go ahead, Jennifer.
So today I had a meeting with Shane, right? And one thing that came up was the marketing. It was the big thing. So, Michael, I appreciate the question because that was what I was going to ask. And I sat and when you asked it, it was like I was in, oh, wow, it's not just me that's struggling with that. So, absolutely. That's something that I physically, yes, I'm not moving because last month marketing was on the cards, and a whole month later, marketing's still on the cards. And I realized that I can't do that. It's not, I can do it. It'll take me 12 days to do 1 day's work. And so thank you. Thank you, Michael. And thank you, Nikki, for that. I will definitely, I will have a look at Patricia Bronwyn and then also the Nadia and see what my needs are, where I should be. But
you're
thank you.
welcome.
Thank you
You're
so
welcome
much.
to send me what your needs are, and I can guide you between the 3 as well, because I've done that for many people. I still remember a lady I was sitting with who Patricia works for. So I, at that stage, had interviewed 3 different people for the social media position, because for me, it was very important for the person to understand me, but also understand my needs and what I'm looking for. It's also very important for me that I like to be a perfectionist, even though I still like to, and still, I still make many mistakes. I like things done right. And with that, I remember saying to the person who referred Patricia to me, and I still said to her, and I said, I've got 3 different people I've interviewed. One, it's not a passion, she does it. The other one, very expensive, but I love their personality. And the other one, love her personality and far more affordable. But if I look at what each person's costing me, I know I can just rather do it myself and save that money. And she looked at me and she said, you can do it yourself, but you will never do it as well as somebody who makes this their business. And when she said that to me, I was like, nailed it. And I think I did for the next week, say, before I brought Patricia in, I did say, okay, I'm going to do it. And then I looked at my clock, my Google Calendar, and the only day I'd allocated was 1 day off, which was the Sunday. And I thought, no, I'm not. So finding someone who also, we can all do something, but how well can we do it? So if
And how
you
quick.
choose to do something, and how quick. So what Patricia has done for me is, like, honestly, every month when I press pay, there's never been 1 month of resentment, ever. When Bronwyn helped me, there was never a payment of resentment. Exactly the same for Nadia, right? It's just been like, I know that I couldn't do my business without them. So yes, if I need to go and waitress at the local coffee shops, I can keep my business and them, I will.
Perfect. Thank
Really,
you.
really about having the best people to help you. Awesome. Love that. Thank you. And you know what? When I push the ladies, it's not pushing them because they're here. I would say it in a room that they weren't in. But I'm also speaking from experience. Because if I didn't speak so high, I would not recommend someone that I don't like or don't like working with. It's not even a likable factor. I highly recommend them because of the work they've done. Who else has a question? Please feel free. I'm not sure who's logged in as a phone, but you're welcome to unmute and ask a question. Also feel comfortable to put on your camera. I've got my best hair done today. No, I'm joking. I'm going to get it done at Michael, that belly laugh was a little too loud. I'm going to get it done at 2:00 for the event tomorrow. So sorry, you've got I'll send you a photo, Michael.
Cool.
I'm only joking.
Nikki,
Yes, go ahead.
I've got a real estate question when you're ready.
Yes, I'm ready for you.
Okay, so a lot of the bigger companies have what's called a seller's pack. That's something that you give to people before an appointment. It basically educates them and positions you, etc., how you work and etc. But it's like, I don't want to create a book because I find in today's world that people don't have the time to read something of 10 pages or however. So my question to you is, I think I need to make one of these things, but do I make it as a booklet and print it? Do I do a PDF one pager, or do I do a WhatsApp? Just something to give clients before I meet them so they become familiar with what or how I will help them sell their property. What are your thoughts?
I love that. My first thing was a one pager, followed with a voice note, but not a voice note, a video note. You are 100% right when it comes to reading. Anytime I get a new appliance, I give the manual to my husband to read it and tell me what to do. Tell me where to switch on, where to put in the powder, and where to unpack. That's it. I don't have time to read a manual. I never, ever read a manual. If somebody gives me a whole document, it's going to sit on my desk for ages. However, one pager to the point, fabulous. So that could be something. And then before you go and meet them, a video note. And the reason I like a video note is it's a WhatsApp in a circle video. It is, you cannot speak longer than 1 minute. So you need to be clear and concise. You're showing a photo. So the reason a video note, or you can do a video, however, whatever you do, it's less than a minute. And this is what I cover and speak with Impact for Effective Communication. Because another thing is, if I get a voice note, a few months ago, I got a voice note for 38 minutes. It's still on my phone. I haven't heard it. That's a podcast. So anything 60 seconds, a video note helps you speak concisely. And why I like a video note is you're going to personalize it. So you're going to go, hey, Michael, Nikki over here. I am so excited to come and meet you. I have popped a one pager that you're welcome to get familiar with and ask me any questions that you may need in your email or your post box. Looking forward to seeing you. Boom. Now you've told them there's a one pager, which you can either WhatsApp or you can email or you can drop in the post box. In fact, I would do all three. So if they don't have access to printing and they like to read a document, they've got it. Some people don't know how to, especially older people, take a WhatsApp document and transfer it onto their computer. Plus an email, you've now covered all 3 times. I've sent this to you 3 ways. Boom, boom, boom. Print out, print it out. I wouldn't waste money on booklets. I was looking for tomorrow of doing flyers. I'm like, I personally can't stand flyers. I get them. I've got bags of flyers here from every networking function. I don't want to throw it away because I feel bad, but now I'm just collecting dust. So what is that one thing? But if you say to them, so when I come, you can ask any questions from that flyer. This is what I may be asking you, so they can prepare. Be different.
Good.
Absolutely be different. I would not be the same as everyone else. I would be more interested at your marketing package, that when I say yes to you, firstly, I'm getting to know, like, and trust you. Secondly, you've given me information, a one-pager. Now I've seen your face and I've heard your personality, and I'm kind of like, okay, now I know what he looks like. So when some guy knocks on my door, I know who he is and why he's here. So now I'm more comfortable and there's a trust factor. And thirdly, you've given me something to think about. Wow, nobody else has done that. They've asked me to read 10 pages. We haven't even looked at it.
Excellent
Oh,
idea. Thank you.
awesome. Yay. Stick with me. I've still got fresh more ideas for the day.
Nobody's got time nowadays. I find that, really speaking, that it's unbelievable how people they don't even have time to talk to you on the phone.
No. You know, you're 100% right. And you also start finding it now. We no longer just, we don't pop into someone's house without asking, can we visit? I mean, that's been a few years now. Now, people don't even phone you unless they've asked for permission to phone. I do that. Let me know when it's a good time to call. Because when people phone and I'm like, oh, you're just phoning and you haven't checked? What the hell? So rude. We are so busy. Right? So the easier you can make it for your client, the better. They must know you have a wealth of knowledge and you'll guide them every step of the way. But it's also that way that you can find out what kind of personality, profile they are and how much they need you. You're there to offer all the different solutions. So that you can do. It's just identifying who they are at their first initial meeting and letting them know, this is what I can do for you. I think my husband's just gone into real estate, in fact.
Oh, really?
And yeah,
So we can do the same thing.
He can do the same thing. Thank you. Great idea. Thanks, Michael. I'll share it with him now. And saying that, so often I'm thinking he's just like, I want to be different. I don't want to do the same thing. Exactly that. So if you can please share your one pages so I can just copy and paste it. Thanks. Carol, go ahead.
Can do that. It's a pleasure.
Michael, which company do you work with? Or is it your own company?
Yeah, it's my own little bespoke real estate business of which I am the principal, and I'm a one-man band.
Okay, yeah.
Michael Shane, who takes away your property pain. Based in Stanton. I met Michael, I think, over 5 years ago. Yeah, we did a course together, and that's where we met. And yes, been a journey together since then. Awesome.
Okay, to find you, must I find you on Google?
You can.
Carol, I can share your numbers with each other if you're happy with that, both of you,
Yeah.
Carol and Michael, and connect with each other.
Absolutely, with pleasure.
Both in real estate, great way to connect with each other.
We can chat with pleasure.
Perfect.
Okay, thanks.
I'll very happily share numbers after the call today. Perfect. What other questions do you have?
How to stop being disillusioned when people let you down. It like takes you back, and then you've got to pick yourself up, go for a walk in the garden, and then start again.
Absolutely. I remember my son's father, he taught me something really excellent, one of the few things, but he said to me, trust everyone, but leave room for disappointment. And I thought that was such a beautiful saying, because I used to struggle to trust. And it's just going, trust everyone, leave space for disappointment. One of the things that I recently doing a course heard was Thomas Edison, who created the light bulb, failed 99 times before the light bulb came into
Existence.
into existence. Thank you, I lost that word. Now, somebody said to him, but Thomas, you failed 99 times. And he said, I have not failed 99 times. I found 99 ways of how not to do it. Different mindset. There was another gentleman who was at the same pace, or the same, so 99. Thomas and this guy were exactly the same place at the same time. Then this guy quit. Thomas went one more. Nobody knows who this person is. I didn't even know he existed until my friend told me. So disillusionment happens. I have to be honest with you, Carol. I get so many inquiries a week. And when people talk to me, they're like, yes, we can't wait. We're definitely signing up. Send me the information. Yay, yay. Send me the invoice ready for next week. And then they ghost me. Like nothing. You know, and then I'm like, is it something I did? Is it something I said? And I've just got to a point now, I still follow up weekly. I still stay in touch. Unless they block me or no longer want to speak to me, that's okay. But otherwise, I keep doing what I'm doing. I only celebrate a new client when the money's in the bank. I don't celebrate an OTP. I don't celebrate a sale. I don't celebrate doing an invoice until it's paid.
Yeah.
And in fact, I even go even further than that. Until you've passed your first 3 sessions, they're not going to ask for a full refund, right? Which no one's ever done. But saying that, that is what I do when I'm working with my clients. This month, I've had 2 people that I met in February. This has been Bronwyn helped me for 2 months. When I got the 275 leads, Bronwyn helped me because that's when I was in hospital, sending out WhatsApps, sending out emails, following up with voice notes, scheduling meetings with me. Out of 275 people, I had no sales. And I was like, I just need 1 sale to pay for my cost of running this campaign. This month, I got 2 sales from that campaign. So 1 paid my cost and 1 is profit. But that is from February. The one lady, if I showed you the WhatsApps every week, blue tick, blue tick, blue tick, blue tick, blue tick, blue tick, blue tick. And I even said to her, if you'd like me to pause the communication, please just give me a thumbs up. No thumbs up. So communication carried on. 2 weeks ago, she messaged, I'm ready, send me invoice. Most incredible woman ever. In fact, when I'm in Joburg next month, they're both coming to the event that I'm talking at to come hear me speak.
Okay.
Don't stop, is what I want to say. It might not be the right time for them, for whatever that reason is. But we also need to look at sometimes walking away from clients who are not serving us. Sometimes we're so attached to the outcome that maybe, and I actually had this in a coaching session with one of my clients yesterday who asked me the exact same question. One no from someone could actually be opening up a perfect opportunity for something else. So just remember that sometimes it's not you, it's not personal, things have changed. So even those people that didn't even answer, I'm like, oh my gosh, what have I done? And I thought, maybe it's nothing to do with you. And this particular lady, when she said, I'm ready, and I was like, sure. I almost want to say, but you haven't answered my messages for 4 months. So I thought, just let it go. And she was like, I really wanted to get the money. And I was feeling terrible, being reminded every week that I couldn't yet, but now I can. That's it.
Yeah. One client that I worked on very hard, there was also another agent in the complex selling. And I just saw today, I went to go and have a look because he said he wanted to wait till summer. And I just see she's got an offer on the property. And he'd listed it for 1950 and would only take 19. And now I see it was listed as 1845. So, yeah, what can you do?
I think, Carol, there's something that I learned actually when I was in real estate that I used last week. Maybe phone him and just say, I see you've listed your property and you have an offer. Firstly, I just want to say congratulations. Secondly, I feel like such a failure because I really feel like I've given, like, I put in a lot of work with, like, we had many conversations that were very positive about me listing the property. And I feel like such a failure that you didn't go with me. Is there anything I could have done differently? Just those words, okay? It's reverse psychology. I feel like a failure. Nobody wants you to feel like a failure. And generally they go, no. They sold it at less commission. Or actually, she told me she was a resident agent and nobody else was allowed to sell the property but her. Is that not true? You don't know what conversation has happened behind the counter, behind those closed doors. But sometimes they'll give you the answer, sometimes they won't. But it is a lovely way of just going, firstly, congratulations, I see you have an offer, amazing. Are you happy with your experience? I just want to know from my side, I feel like a failure that we didn't go further and get the mandate. Is this something I could have done differently? That's it. That's it. And I can tell you that now because I just sent an email proposal to this woman who really wanted to speak with impact for effective communication in sales. And her boss wanted all the details of the course, which I put in writing. And then he came back to her and said, I don't think this is a good sales course. I think, no, let's rather look for something else. And I was like, oh, and she sent me a message. She said, can you rather add this and this and this to email? Because you told me that. I said, yeah, no, I have that as well. And then she's like, well, add that. I want to do it. And immediately I sent her a voice and I said, I feel like such a failure that I'm trying to upsell myself for a sales course in sales. And I haven't done my job. So and you know, no, don't feel like a failure. It's like, but this is what I do. I can tell you the outcomes I've had. She goes, I believe you, but my boss is not. And I was like, well, then you need to motivate it. That's it. Right? So immediately, as soon as I said to her, but I feel like such a failure and trying to sell a sales course, and yeah, you're telling me I'm not good in sales. But again, I didn't take it personally. I took it as, how could I improve? How could I do things differently? I'm not a forceful salesperson. Maybe that's what he wants. Maybe I'm not the right course for her because my outcome may not be what his outcome is. Again, so sometimes, yes, we do have to brush it off, pick ourselves up, and keep going. But realize and recognize your value, and you don't know what commission split she's working with. She might be working with a 1.5 commission just to make it work so she could take that offer of 1840. So,
Can I say something, please?
yes, please go ahead.
Carol, I have to say that in the real estate business, one thing we have to realize that it's the nature of the beast. You will be rejected. It's exactly what Nikki's just saying. No matter what you do, no matter how you do it, you have to face the fact that in sales, rejection is part of the territory. And maybe it's only in real estate, I'm not sure, but I think it's in every business. But I know in real estate, buyers lie and sellers lie even worse. So, sometimes you just have to actually make yourself stronger. We all have to make our minds stronger because, as Nikki says, sometimes you just got to walk away. No matter what you do, it won't be good enough. I tell you, I had an example the other day. I spent a lot of time with a guy, helping him, counseling him, going to see him, giving him a price, working out a current market value, etc., etc. And what did he do? He went to another agent who promised to get him a much higher price. So he listed with that agent, and I see yesterday that it's under offer. I'm just curious to find out at what price. Sure, I'm disappointed. I put in all that work, like Nikki said, she put in all the work, sending emails and more courses and more stuff that she does. And no matter what we do, sometimes we just get a kick in the somewhere. And that's it. So how do we make ourselves mentally stronger? That's a tough one. I'm battling with that one too, because I'm also quite soft.
Yeah, I'm very soft.
I think for me, it's also about, and I want to share this from also personal experience and clients I've worked with this experience. If you go back to him and you say, I'm so sorry, he will probably turn and it will be nothing to do with you, Carol. But you know what? And I'm just saying this for his sake, I hope this deal goes smoothly, but maybe it doesn't. And he goes, I should have used Carol. Same as you, Michael. You know, it's a nice thing to do when a client decides to go with someone else. And I say this no matter what industry, follow up with them. I'm just checking in. I know you said you were going to do this course with someone else or list your property with someone else. I would love to know, are you happy with your experience? Are you happy with the way the agent, the coach, this person is working with you? And my goal is for them to say, yes, I can say thank you because I'm always looking for another person to refer business to when I get too busy. That's it. The goal isn't to, yeah, no, they were crap. But if they do come back and say, no, actually the service is terrible, I should have gone with you, where are you in the process? If they signed a sole and exclusive mandate, when does it expire? What are the T's and C's of getting out of that? Let's have a chat. So, or for when it does expire, then maybe I can take over. So ultimately, there's always room to be a plan B. And I think that's another thing I learned in real estate as well. You know, I used to do recruitment. So anytime I recruited somebody and somebody said no, I would say, firstly, I feel like such a failure that I haven't told you how amazing our company is. So thank you, Bronnie, enjoy school. But I haven't told you how amazing our company is. However, so that was the one line. And then the second thing is, I'm glad you're very happy with your current agent. However, could I be a plan B? So if anything doesn't work out with your current agent, your current listing, can I be your plan B and your next go-to person who you will phone? I just want you to know I am still here for you. If you need advice, if you need to chat, I am still here for you. All I ask that I'm top of mind. So if somebody is looking for a property around you or you can refer me, I would appreciate that. That's it. That's customer service 101. So it's not basically somebody going no and you're going, well, no, never want to see your face again. It's going, actually, let me be your plan B. But Carol, I mean, I'm the same. I've had a woman now recently who I've been working with for 2 years to do my public speaking course. She finally said yes. She finally said she was doing it. Send me the invoice. My tax return money's come in. I'm paying tomorrow. Ghosted. 2 years of working with her. Ghosted. And I just thought, now I'm done. Because I've been following up for 2 years. But that was exciting when she came. And I still said, I'm not celebrating until the money is paid. That's it. And again, I was just like, the deep breath. Yep. Sometimes it means having a glass of wine, going and sitting in the sun, going for a jog, having a cry, whatever works for you, and then going, okay, pick it up. What's next? Sometimes it sucks. I think it always sucks. I don't think it ever doesn't suck. Even Michael, you say you're a softie. I'm a softie too. Although I don't always come out soft. I'm a softie too. But no one likes rejection. No one. So, yep, get comfortable with the nose. Next opportunity. That's it. Fabulous. We have time for one more question. I love these questions coming through. I also love this interaction. Who else has a question?
Okay, let me say this as well. I'm still battling with technology, and I do have somebody that helps me once a week for a few hours, but I still feel the technology is moving at such a pace that we just cannot actually, well, I can't keep up with it. So I do my best, but I just feel I'm inadequate when it comes to that.
And Michael, I hear you, because my mother had such a problem with the bank where somebody tried to fraud her. And since then, it's just been an absolute nightmare where she's had to get apps on her phone and she hates it on her phone and she's freaking out. And the other day she's like, and she's 74 years old and she's just like, I can't do this anymore. I don't know what's going to happen. This has aged me by 10 years, and then she's like, I don't even want to live anymore. This is just too hard. 74 years old. Now, my mother is one of the most sweetest, kindest, softest, honest, positive people I know. But these are the words I've been hearing coming out of her mouth since that incident happened. And thank goodness they didn't get a cent. But technology's just overtaken her. When I tell her my conversations I have with ChatGPT, she never goes, that's funny. She goes, that's scary. When anything technology, and you're absolutely right, technology is moving at such a fast pace. And I think I think we are very lucky that we grew up in a time that there were no cell phones, and we grew up with no computers and no, all that space, because we can celebrate what we have now. But we also grew up in a place where we understand both sides of the positives and the negatives of technology. So I take that as a positive. And yet I'm the same. I'm always like, I am so dumb when it comes to technology, or I don't know. And I've got Instagram accounts. I don't even know. People are like, we're sending you a connection request. We're really upset you haven't accepted us. I'm like, I don't know how. So now I'm sitting with my son's girlfriend going, show me this, show me this, show me this. Like every time I see her, show me this, because I don't know how. So one of the things is, and the same thing I shared with you with just my computer system, Nadia handles for me. I don't know how. No, I do know how now. But when she can't send out an email and I need to send out an email, it will take me 10 minutes to set up sometimes. Sometimes I have a tantrum, burst out crying, and then come back and start again, because it's just difficult. It's challenging. Whereas for her, it's a minute. And again, it's technology. But my brain goes into, I don't know how to do this, so I can't do this, as opposed to going, watch the video she made for you and put it into action slowly. One of the things I would recognize is choose the most simplest tool for you. Even Bronwyn was talking just now about a training company and all these tools. Immediately my brain went into, well, maybe I need all those tools. I've got a training company. I was like, stop. You don't need everything. What's that one thing you need, and do that. Do what works for you. What I would recommend with technology, whatever it may be, are there any Udemy courses to help you with that? YouTube tutorials that can help you with that. I'm personally a visual person, so when I watch, I can do. But I've learned how to place Facebook ads. I just don't want to do it. I've learned how to set up my whole system. I don't want to do it. So I focus on what I do want to do and rather pay someone else to do what I don't. So what technology are you stuck with? And I think that's important. Recently, I've got very comfortable with ChatGPT, and I'm up to paid ChatGPT, and I'm happy with that. But so many of my clients have gone, Nikki, no, Claude's the way to go. And then one of my clients on one of my masterminds said to me, oh my gosh, she was telling us about her win of Claude and everything Claude has taught her. And she went on this course with Claude, and Claude. And immediately, shiny object, I must learn Claude. And I thought, I don't have the capacity to learn Claude. Chat is giving me what I need right now. I know there are so many other things. I'm not working in Patricia's probably like, you need Claude. But so many other things that I could be learning, I don't have the capacity. Because if I had the capacity, I would be doing my LinkedIn outreach every day, which is one of my goals. Like you said, Jennifer, it's on my list to do every day, but I'm just not doing it. Right? So again, what do you have to do? And also look at this, Michael. How long have you had your business? Over 40 years? Or been in your business? Or been in... No, you haven't.
No,
I know. Yes.
No, I've only been in the real estate business for about 10, 12 years.
Okay. And for the last 10, 12 years, you're still in business because what you've done has worked. Remember that. So if there's something that can complement you and technology to make it easier, choose one thing and learn. And bite size. I know when I, for example, with Canva, I remember the first time saying to someone, please, can you do a photo of me with my logo and just put the icon on? And they were like, but it's so easy, just do it on Canva. I remember this is 2019, crying, going, I don't know how, right? Then I started watching the Canva tutorial videos. Then I started watching YouTube videos. Then there was somebody doing a Canva course, and I paid her as a one-to-one because I said, I don't want to be with a group of people. I want you to hold my hand and show me how to do this. And I saved the thing still on my desktop where I can go back and watch the recording. And now when my mom comes or hubby comes and says, can you do a post for me? It can take me 20 seconds to go boom, 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 there, done. They're like, how'd you do it so fast? With 6 years of practice. Choose one thing.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. That's the thing. Choosing one thing, because there's just so many things you have to learn in real estate. I mean, in every business. So, and it's all very well saying, yeah, go to YouTube and that. Who's got time to go to YouTube all day long? Really, it's always a time thing.
Yeah.
I could
Absolutely.
be canvassing in that time. Although,
Yes.
tell me something. How is your husband canvassing nowadays in the reality of not being able to use the phone like we used to?
Well, he's literally been there for a week. So he's still, and he's very analytical. So he wants to learn everything first. But he's already said he doesn't want a cold call. He's going to use his network and he's going to door knock. There's another agent in our area in the same company, which we know, and she popped in last week. She's doing the area as well, and she's door knocking, dropping flyers, door knocking, and doing that. So depending on your area, depending on where you are, I also think with you, Carol, there's just complex after complex you can't get in. But depending where you are, I mean, personally, I don't even have a doorbell for door knocking because I don't have a door by the gate, but I don't have a doorbell. So nobody can door knock at my house anyway, besides my dogs would eat them. So, but he does want to do something different. So he will do a lot more social media and putting himself out there, but he's still a baby. He's like a rookie, raw rookie. But his first thing was, I don't want to do what everyone does, specifically with cold calling. So that way of doing those video notes is what I teach in effective communication, sending yourself out there, building up relationship with people, get to know, like, and trust you just through seeing who you are, hearing your voice, and building trust. And
Just
Michael,
one last thing. Just one last thing with the video note. Would you put something like that on Facebook as well, or would you do paid advertising and target a specific area?
So video notes you can't do on Facebook. You can do videos for Facebook. What I would recommend is speaking to someone in social media to see, if you're targeting a specific area, then you really have to narrow down your targeting for that. I would focus on social media and firstly give out lots and lots and lots of value. And I would also recommend, which I do with all my one-to-one clients, videos, 1 minute or less. Did you know? And share a fun fact. Did you know? And, with that, you start building up followings, you start showing your authority, and people can start reaching out to you. That's what I would do. But now without being able to do phone call, look at markets, look at malls, look where you can be out, look where you can be visible. How are people getting to know your name? That's important. All right, Carol.
I just got a message back from Scott said I did not fail at all. It comes down to who you had at the time. You did your best and none of these guys made a lower offer. The person came through, we know them very well. It's a colleague I work with and happened to be looking. The fact that the guys who came never proceeded to give a lower offer is not your fault. But I mean, if it's a guy he worked with, why didn't he give it to me? Why did he give it to the other agent?
You know what? A lot of that's okay. But at least he's come back and told you your reasoning. So thank you so much for my feedback. I appreciate that so much. A lot of people don't understand how sales work as far as a seller's agent and a buyer's agent. So I never knew any of that pre-property learning. So you probably find he's now listed it with an agent. It only made sense to tell the agent, here's a buyer, whereas he didn't realize that he could have, and you say to him, any buyers you have, give to me. In fact, he could have sold the property himself.
Mm.
So ultimately, he probably didn't even realize that unless he had an exclusive mandate. So a lot of people don't realize. I have to tell you, when I was buying a property and I bought one in Joburg, one in Cape Town, I knew nothing about property. And it's only when I went into real estate in 2019 and I started getting looked at everything our agents did for us at the time, that I recognized how much work they were doing behind the scenes. So even we worked with the buyer's agent for ages, and she never found us the property we wanted. And eventually we found the property. And I actually phoned her and I said, I didn't realize how much work you were doing for us behind the scenes, and we still didn't put in an offer with you. I am so sorry. Right? And again, she was very appreciative. I also phoned the agent who we did buy the house through to say, I didn't realize all those extras you added for us was at your expense. Thank you. I never knew until I learned. We don't know what we don't know. And I think that's important. So I love that you actioned. I love that you got feedback saying you're not a failure. Didn't you see how beautiful that was? It was actually nothing to do with you. My colleague said he was interested. I was interested in giving him a better offer to make the deal work. And that's what happened. That's it.
Yeah. He just said he came through another agent, and then he realized he knew him. One of those
there we go.
things.
And
Yeah.
if he came through another agent, then he wouldn't even have been able to sell the property because it came through someone else. So
Yeah.
we live, we learn, we celebrate our learnings every day. But well done for actioning that, and I hope you feel better about that, because it wasn't you. 99% of the time, it's not us. And yet, I have had somebody going, you're not my cup of tea. And I'm going to go, oh, I know that. I'm not everyone's cup of tea. Awesome. Hope you like another flavor somewhere else. But it's okay. I mean, it sucks when somebody goes, we don't like you. But I'm not there. Like, not everyone's going to like me. And I'm okay with that. Are you? Hope that helps. Thank you to everyone. For those of you in leadership, if you want to join my leadership masterclass, I have one at 3 o'clock this afternoon or 11 o'clock on Friday morning. But thank you to everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up and asking me anything. I love the challenge. Have a lovely one. Ciao, ciao.
Thanks so much, as always. Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye,
you.
everybody.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.